It's What's the Odds with Steve Wren is easy. March 19th, I believe, 2022. 20th? March 20th. I don't know. It's whatever today is. Is it
19.
20th? 19. March 19th, 2022. Rogue is with us, possibly barking a lot because why, Brenton?
Because she just ate her breakfast, and after breakfast, we're supposed to cuddle on the couch, and we're not cuddling right now.
Wow.
Do you hear her?
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I don't want this to be an issue between you guys. I would never want to cause a rift between you and your dog. If you do need to take some time to go over and cuddle with her, far be it from us to stop you from doing that. So please take the time, cuddle with Rogue, find out, what she's feeling. Oh, look at her. Beautiful. Now she's happy. It's been a while since we've spoken to you guys, and thanks for having some patience with us. I've been traveling a lot. I got sick for a little bit, but I'm back. I'm a little healthy. I'm in New York now. It's a nice day today, but a lot has gone on since we last talked. I mean, literally, the entire NFL.
Jesus Christ.
Scenario.
The NFL is now fantasy football for real. Has there ever been an off season like this where it's just like huge name after huge name after huge name?
Here's what I'm learning quickly about the NFL: that contracts don't mean shit. Yeah. Contracts, for the most part, are just like, here's what we think could happen. Here's what we, it's not 6 years. All it means is the numbers I look at a contract is obviously the length and the guaranteed money. That's what's going on, because you see stuff like, when I heard that, and we'll get into every one of them, but when I heard that Von Miller signed with the Bills for 6 years, I said to myself, that's dumb. You're going to be paying a 40-year-old man, 38-year-old man to play, end for you, who, is going to be 38 at that point. But it's really not that. It's for 2 years, really.
Yeah,
he can get out after 2 years.
Sank when I saw 6 years, 120 million. Because we shit on him because he didn't look great with the Rams up until the Super Bowl. He was playing. You really got
mediocre. Him for 2 years.
Yes,
2 years. It's front loaded. He gets like $40 million when he signs. You got him for a year or two, and then you can cut him later on, and the money won't go against the cap. So
absolutely.
Look, that's the smallest of what has happened. It's everything else. I mean, it started really with Russell Wilson was before Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah.
So it was pretty much Russell Wilson being the first guy, the first ball to drop. Him going to the Broncos, which was a surprise. I mean, no, actually, it must have been Rodgers, because as soon as Rodgers signed, the Broncos knew they weren't getting him, so they immediately went and got Russell Wilson. Which, I mean, look, I don't know how you guys feel about that one. To me, that's a ready-made team, and that's another situation. It's sort of like their Von Miller, where they're going to go get this guy. He has 2 or 3 good more years left in him, and he can go win a championship. They did it they're hoping that they catch lightning in a bottle with the Peyton Manning thing again. You get a season.
This is a little different.
Quarterback who's won.
He's 33. He might have another 5 or 6 good years.
Absolutely. But I'm saying it's the recipe of not looking at a draft or it's going to get someone that we know is a proven winner. And with that team around, I think he wants to air the ball out more. I think he sort of felt stifled in Seattle. And I mean, for me, I look at that, I go, wow, okay. Now the Broncos are to be fucked with in the AFC West. That AFC West is ridiculous, especially now when you look at the quarterbacks that are in that division. You got Herbert, you got Carr, you've got now Russell Wilson, and of course you have Patrick Mahomes. So I think for me, I'm like, if I'm Russell Wilson, yeah, that's probably, I don't want to get out of Seattle, and beyond Indianapolis, Denver's probably the second best place you can go, I would say. Mm-hmm. As far as ready-made teams with a great defense, an offensive line, some offensive weapons. I mean, you got Judy, you've got what's the other wide receiver they have there?
Tim Patrick has some of the best hands in football. Tim Patrick's a beast.
And their number one guy is, what's his name? I can't remember. Is the Broncos number one receiver now?
Sutton?
Yeah, Sutton.
Yeah, Cordell Sutton. I mean, that they have weapons already. So it's like, what that to me is, I think
you're forgetting Wilson about Javonte Williams. If he becomes the lead guy too, I mean, that guy's going to be a top 5 running back.
He had two 900-yard plus running backs last year.
Yeah.
So they have an offensive line, obviously, because when your backup gets that many yards, that means everyone's doing their job. So I was very happy that Russell Wilson landed there. I think that makes that division just fucking unreal to watch. Then I think after that, you had Tom Brady coming back, right? Might be the next one after that.
Unfinished business.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how you guys felt about that. That was,
he's got to break a few more tablets.
Yeah. I think that he probably made the mistake of speaking out loud his thoughts and having people overhear them and having stuff get report. I'm not saying it. I heard the interview with his dad on ESPN, and his dad kind of threw Adam Schefter under the bus. He threw a couple people under the bus. That the reporting was a little early, a little premature, and without warrant, really. And I don't think that's the case. I mean, look, Adam Schefter doesn't fuck around. That guy's got a stellar reputation. What he says 99.9% of the time usually happens. Although I don't think anybody saw the fucking Deshaun Watson going to the Browns, especially after they let the Browns know that they were out of the running for that, but we can get to that later. So I don't think Adam Schefter over-reported anything. I think that, he probably was speaking freely there was a leak. And because of that, he hadn't fully made up his mind, but now he's got to retire because it's out there. And it was all handled sloppily. And I think that with all these pieces falling in the AFC, that he was like, look, this division, this conference is still up for grabs. When Kirk Cousins still got a fucking job for over $30 million, yeah, I'll come back and play quarterback for the fucking Bucs again. No problem. Now, the guy is one injury away from it all being over. He's not going to recover. He's not going to try to make, does it surprise me? Kind of not. I never feel like these guys that go forever have the ability to know when to shut it down fully. But I'm happy. I don't know how you feel about him coming back. You probably don't care. It's another year. It's another year for you to shit all over him, Brenton. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. His play is just going to continue to decline, and it's going to be wonderful to see. That being said, the fact that every quarterback is now in the AFC except for him and Rodgers is, I'd come back too. Saying. It's pretty enticing. Yeah. He's got a cakewalk to the 1 seed or the 2 seed, and people are going to think he's better than he is because they're not playing anybody this year.
Who are you sweating? Carson Wentz?
Exactly.
I mean, Carson Wentz now is probably the best quarterback in our division again. And he was probably the last good one since he left before he,
the Cowboys have just completely fucked up free agency. Let's get rid of Amari Cooper and sign Michael Gallup off an injury to a monster contract. We have a running back that's way too expensive for the production we get. Let's let half our defense go. Let's let some of the offensive linemen
go. Yeah. I was surprised at letting look. They must be all in on the kid. What's the wide receiver? The
CeeDee
Lamb's great. Lamb. Yeah, but
and he is great.
You're losing your over the top speed guy in Cooper.
You are, but I think that they're trying to hope that Gallup that they that he can replace and be that role for less money. And they got draft picks back. I think they got a second rounder. And they drafted well last year. Their draft has been good. So maybe they can replace some of the things they lost. Look, I can't look at them. I'm still looking at the Giants, trying to figure out, where are they in any of this? Where are they? I mean, like, I know we have a new captain and a new fucking commander in chief. So these guys are just trying to figure things out. And look, the last thing you want to do is pull the trigger on some big deal, give up, 3 first-round draft picks, and you can't, now your first decision, it's going to be the thing you're going to be tied to for the rest of your career there. I could see that them being gun shy in that, but Tyrod Taylor, it's like, am I supposed to be excited about this? This is not. What I'm excited about? It's going to
end your drought.
They got Glonowski from Indianapolis, who's a great offensive lineman. So I was like, okay, great. I'm like, that guy obviously knows. But Is he another Nate Solder? Did we get another fucking guy who's past his prime, and we're paying for what the Indianapolis Colts got? So obviously he's younger. I think he's got more in him, but I like to see that move. But the Tyrod Taylor thing, yeah, as a backup, why to put pressure on Daniel Jones? What it says to me is like the Giants are pot committed to see what Daniel Jones can do this year. Can Tyrod Taylor give him a run for his money during camp? Maybe. Yeah, I guess that's what they want to do. Throw a fire under him, see what he can, what he's like when he. And who knows? Tyrod Taylor could go back in and play, and he's a capable, good quarterback.
He's a good leader. He's a good guy to have in the locker room, and he's a good athlete.
Yeah. But is it exciting? Does it get you are you like, fuck, we're going in the right direction? Again, I don't know. There are no like huge marquee names as far as I'm concerned in this draft. So whoever we draft what is it? We have 5 and 7, I think. Whoever we get at those picks, they're not going to be household names. And so we need to make sure that those are the right picks. I hope that's what I'm saying. Like the Schoen and Daboll have seemed to put all their eggs in the draft basket. And I'm okay with that because they did a good job in Buffalo and they seem to be capable at that. But as far as going out and getting one of these big name quarterbacks or trying to find a play, maybe none of these guys want to come play in New York. Maybe they went after Russell Wilson. Maybe Russell Wilson doesn't want to come play in New York. There's too much pressure and not enough around them. Mm-hmm. It's not a fucking desirable place to come play quarterback right now. I wouldn't see anyone, tripping over themselves. Although, maybe Baker Mayfield now. Maybe.
Why is he making requests?
Look, he knew something that no one else knew. Now let's get to that one. Okay. Because, well, hold on. Did we miss? So Carson Wentz went over to the, so then it's like, okay, where is Deshaun Watson going to land? So now you have Atlanta basically shopping Matt Ryan, which would have looked great in Indianapolis. I think Matt Ryan in Indianapolis would have been fucking great. And I think Matt Ryan was great. Bags packed to go to Indianapolis, psyched about the opportunity.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear? Because I heard someone say the Browns have been notified that they are out of the Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, Schefter tweeted that. Schefter tweeted it like 36 hours before it broke that he was going to go to the Browns.
Then I heard that the Falcons had all but basically moved Matt Ryan because they moved the date that they had to pay him for some sort of bonus that he needed. And the only reason they were going to do that is to work out a trade possibility with somebody else and have him be in on it so that they could bring in Deshaun Watson, who grew up in the Atlanta area. And it was like, if you're looking at two teams, Atlanta and New Orleans made the most sense. Now, the Browns are good, but I couldn't understand why, moving to the AFC, why would you want to, with all this fucking stuff that's going on with these quarterbacks, now you want to move to the AFC North where you've got Lamar Jackson, you've got Kyle Rudolph.
Joe Burrow. No, Mitch Trubisky. He went to the Steelers.
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky.
And I think you're going to see him bounce back in a big way because he's got some weapons and they just improved their offensive line.
By the way, what happened to Mitch Trubisky to the Giants? I was ready for that. I was actually.
Well, you guys, you didn't want to give us Barkley. You didn't want to give us Barkley, so go fuck yourself.
No, there's no way you guys asked for Barkley.
Straight up, Barkley for Mitch right now.
That's not happening, dude. This guy's failed.
And you give us your first round pick.
Well, what did they give up?
He hasn't though. It was really bad coaching. Mitch, the Bills didn't, or the Steelers didn't give up anything. Mitch signed as a free agent. He wanted a starting job, and they gave him some good money, and he's on a good team with a really good coach.
I know. I think they're going to be, and they have a couple weapons. Claypool. Oh, he's gone, right?
No.
Juju just went to the Chiefs.
Juju went to the Chiefs. Claypool's still there. Yeah, another guy that's like failed up. This is his last shot, Trubisky. It's like he can't fuck around now. But again,
I disagree. He hasn't failed. He hasn't failed up. This is only his third team too. He's still a young guy.
I get it, dude. Chicago. What is he going to be? Daniel Jones that's Daniel Jones. If he doesn't do well,
I think he is a better player than people realize, and this is his year to show everybody that, even in a really tough division.
Maybe. But that division now, you got Burrow. It's like, what I have no idea why Deshaun Watson would want to go there until I heard what they gave him.
Yeah.
$230 million fucking guaranteed, every nickel of it, which is, I mean, unheard of. I've never heard any contract. No one to this point got a full guaranteed contract. What is it, 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something like that. 5 years, 230 fully. And this is for a guy that you don't even know. I mean, just because he still has civil suits, 22 civil suits against him. I mean, this is not done by any way, shape, or form. As far as him having to serve some sort of punishment.
He'll be suspended. He's going to be suspended by the league. They'll do something similar to what they did with Roethlisberger and Ezekiel Elliott, and he'll probably do 4 to 6 games unless something big comes out and he's charged with something else.
Now, with Amari Cooper there, and Deshaun Watson, and obviously the running backs, and the defense is still great. I mean, that's now. If they weren't in the AFC, I think they would be the team to beat in the NFC right now. They might not even be the lock to win their division. They might finish third in their division.
Nobody's a lock to win that division, because you look at the Ravens and what they've done to shore up their defense. The Ravens are going to be really good next year.
The ability to look past what Deshaun Watson is still going to be involved in for the Browns, it's and they gave up. What did they give up? 3 first-round draft picks.
Yeah,
3.
And by the way, just a sidebar: the fan club of the Browns, the Dog Pound guy, he shut down all of his sites. He said that he was sickened by the signing, and they're putting winning football ahead of morals, and he shut down everything last night. So the fan base, some are excited, but it's definitely split.
Bro, they'll be fine. Once they start winning, that Dog Pound site will be back up again.
But that's the thing.
Okay?
Even though Deshaun Watson is probably a top 5 quarterback and he'll finish top 5 in fantasy next year, they're probably the 4th best team in that division right now.
If Charles Manson could run a 4.3, he would have been in the NFL. They don't care about what's going on in the off field. As long as you don't gamble on the game.
That backfield's going to be Deshaun Watson and Kareem Hunt.
As long as you don't gamble on the game, that's all they give a fuck about. But what I'm saying is, like, you may have a guy, like, what if Goodell goes, it's a 10-game suspension, right? Now it's like, so you're going to pay for this guy, what is he going to make, $40 million next year to play, what, 6 games, 7 games maybe? I mean, that is just the size and the, like, I thought the contract would not, that's the most surprising thing. Obviously going to Cleveland after they said they weren't going to, which I don't know what Cleveland must have done. They must have just been like, no, we're not taking no for an answer. We're not taking no for an answer.
We'll give you every penny. Here's more money than the other 2 with the same draft picks. Come play for Cleveland.
I mean, but the contract alone is it's humongous, and it's so, like, it's what you would expect. Like, I don't know, like, pay, like if Tom Brady was a real, like, I want every dollar I deserve, that's the kind of contract he would warrant. Someone who has been like an unbelievable person in the league, a representative, an icon, like, fully guaranteed highest number ever is like is ridiculous. And to give it to a guy that's, like, still not in the clear with what he's going through, whatever it is, I don't want to, convict the guy, but 22 is a lot. So it's not done. And I'm like, I think that's what's bothering. If the Giants did this, I'd be happy, I think, a little bit, but I would also have a problem with it. I really would. I would be, well, we've been through a lot, dude. I know Cleveland's been through a lot.
Oh yeah. You've been through so much more than any other sports franchise.
But I'm just saying, like, we got to win, but it's also like, it's surprise. Like, I don't think it's not a classy move It's not.
No, but it wouldn't have been to anywhere he would have gone. So Cleveland's ownership and management and PR team, they must have all gotten together and said, here's what's going to happen. Shit's going to hit the fan. Can we handle this? And they decided yes.
It's going to be risky.
And it's definitely going to be risky.
And I don't know. Like, it's so tough. I don't know how you can kind of put all your eggs in a basket if you're in the AFC, because there is so much competition. I mean, so much competition now. When the AFC West is murderer's row across the board, the AFC North is unreal as well. Indianapolis, Jacksonville's terrible. The Jets.
Yeah, the amount
terrible.
of money Jacksonville has spent on wide receiver 2 and 3s, like they brought in so much mediocre talent. It's like what the Patriots did last year in free agency. They overspent on guys that are just not going to pan out.
I got to be honest though. I with the Giants. I mean, obviously I was bitching about Tyrod Taylor before, but yes, I do think that they're putting the emphasis on the draft, rebuilding from within. They have big problem. Gettleman's fucked them so bad. I mean, not only think about this, dude. Think about this. We are like $40 million over the salary cap with a team who hasn't won more than 3-4 games in the last 5 years. How do you have a team that has that much salary cap issues that performs so poorly out there? It's not only did he just draft poorly and make poor decisions as far as the ability to get quality for the people he want, but also like financially fucked us. So Schoen's got like his work cut out for him, not only to be able to just go with it, he's only got one way to rebuild this thing. It's got to be from within the draft. So I'm going to hopefully give him a pass on the free agency or the lack of free agency spending and hope that the draft goes well. I won't be as generous when we get to the Yankees because they're fucking up free agency. They're fucking it up badly. So we can get to that later. But we didn't even get to the wide receivers yet. So then you got Devonta Adams, which I don't know how Aaron Rodgers let that happen. If you're Aaron Rodgers, you just signed this big contract. You obviously have gotten what you wanted as far as management say and being able to be in the know of what the decision process is. And then the next thing they're going to tell you a week later is you're going to take away his number one target.
The only target.
Now, the only thing I could think of is like, okay, we're going to use these draft picks to go get like DK Metcalf. We'll give the Seahawks a first round pick for DK Metcalf. And then, if it's that, and you're basically trading Devonta Adams for DK Metcalf and 2 picks, that might be something he's okay with. I don't know. He wants playmakers, obviously. And now you'll have, what are they, the 22nd pick?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So it's not a high first round draft pick. I'm surprised by that. I don't know who Aaron Rodgers throws to now.
Randall Cobb.
Yeah.
He can't be happy about that. He can't be.
And what's crazy about it is Green Bay matched Las Vegas's offer. So they were going to pay him the exact same amount of money, and he decided, I don't want to play in Green Bay. I'll go to Las Vegas.
Wow. I know. I mean, that could be a tax thing. Could be you're saving. There's no income tax in Las Vegas.
But he was given the choice: continue with Aaron Rodgers, who I've had this great career with, or go back to my college teammate, and he chose to go to his college teammate.
And they could do wonders together as well.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Carr is no joke. He's not Aaron
Derek
Rodgers.
Carr has weapons. He has weapons now. I mean, they're going to open up the entire field because you got to double Devontae Adams, and then who's gonna be able to stay on what's his face? You got Waller, who's elite, and then Renfro, who's going to cover Renfro.
And look, as long as nobody goes fucking crazy and starts using racial epithets or drives 190 miles an hour again, they had a good season beyond all the other wild shit that happened. So yeah, I think Devonta Adams is his numbers probably won't diminish. They won't go down. They'll probably be around the same. But I think you got to get something for for Aaron Rodgers to throw to. And he's been very quiet about it. I haven't heard him bitching. Usually you'd hear him bitching by now. So he must know something. But that's the only thing I can think of is they're going to package something together for like a DK Metcalf or something like that. But
yeah, but imagine if they don't, how glorious that'll be and how pissed he'll be the whole season.
I mean, wide receiver is it's one of the deeper positions in this draft, but you still can't depend on a rookie.
Yeah.
And the 22nd pick, you're right. That's not.
It's not great.
It's not great.
You're not getting a guarantee at 22.
Yeah. I mean, Justin Jefferson was around that area a couple of years ago when, the Diggs trade went down, but so that's
lightning in a bottle. Him and Jamar Chase are just rarities that you have that good of a rookie season. And you go back and look at every elite receiver, and it's usually the second or third year that they really start to blow up.
Allen Robinson going to the Rams.
It's a lot of money too.
Yeah.
That's how they run shit. They have no first round draft picks. Mm-hmm. So they have to sign some people. They have to get some stars. And that's another weapon over there. That's a good sign for them, I think.
But they lost Whitworth.
Whitworth. That was Did you see that?
Yeah.
You know my favorite part about that was his kids didn't give a fuck about what he was talking about.
Cool.
Like I could tell he wanted this thing to be like a very special moment. And they were like, Dad, we just want to play with the confetti. There's like too much shit happening right now. And I know exactly that pain, dude, when you're like, oh, this is a beautiful thing. And then your kids are just like, what are you talking about, you old fuck? So congratulations to Jason Whitworth. Is it Jason?
Sounds right.
Aaron
Whitworth.
Ron Whitworth.
Bill Whitworth.
Josh Whitworth.
He won the man of the year, right? Andrew Whitworth.
Oldest player to ever start in a Super Bowl, damn it.
How old is he?
It's like 40 plus.
Oldest lineman to start in a Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, Tom Brady's 47.
Yeah.
There's a crazy stat that like 20% of Super Bowls have all involved Tom Brady.
Yeah, it is.
Fucking insane.
He's been in every other year for like the last 8 years.
He won't be this next year. Calling that now.
That
now.
Who stopped?
What a long shot. You're going against you're taking the 31 other teams against the 47-year-old man.
I'll take the field against the 48-year-old man, but the NFC, he has a path, and they're going to find a way to fuck it up. They're another team. They've lost some people on offense and defense. He lost a key lineman to free agency, and they haven't signed Fournette yet. So they got
this is all new.
Good move, but
I don't think they had any idea that he was coming back. I think they were completely shocked. I think they're happy about it. They don't have to worry about, we got to go find one of these quarterbacks. But
it makes you wonder if he had let them know earlier, would they have been able to retain a lot more of the guys? Because I think maybe guys had the mindset of, well, Brady's out, so I don't want to play here anymore because they're going to be rebuilding.
Yeah, but that shoulda, coulda, woulda. Like you can't he was retired, dude. So you had to go do that. Like they're lucky that he came back because he will be able to talk.
Yeah, but I'm saying the pieces that they did lose, maybe they would have stayed if he had made that news public earlier.
Maybe. I think they're going to be fine.
We got OJ Howard. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
We finally get to see if he's a good player or not.
At a discount too. It's not like you didn't have to pay him top tier tight end money either.
No, way cheaper than what Gronk would have been. Way cheaper than Evan Ingram.
How do you feel about? Because I like the Von Miller thing, although I think that you guys made a mistake not getting a Khalil Mack or a Bobby Wagner, a linebacker, someone to stop the run. I think your secondary gets.
They are putting faith into Edmonds and Milano.
You're going to have to seriously make sure that linebacking core is, because that was your issue last year. It's stopping the run in big situations. Mm-hmm. And so, Von Miller's going to put pressure on the quarterback, but you can get a lot of pressure with less talent on because your secondary is so good. So they're so locked down that pretty much guys can get to the quarterback.
Well, we went
I
and
would
got
rather, if I was you guys, had a middle linebacker that's going to be able to stop the run, a Bobby Wagner. That's my only.
Everybody would want a Bobby Wagner, but what was his price? And then I think, I don't know how you feel, Lucas, but I think this was like one of the greatest free agencies I've ever seen as a Bills fan, where they went and got Settle, they re-signed Shaq Lawson, they got Phillips to come back, they have Von Miller, they have like 9 guys who are legit high-level talent that can rotate into that line and keep constant pressure and stay fresh. Like the defense is very exciting. The only thing they need to do is they need to either trade for or go sign a veteran cornerback or get somebody in the draft to add some depth there, and maybe get another running back, because it seems like they aren't 100% in on Singletary. So it sucked that JD McKissick backed out at the last second on that. But, they get a running back for some depth, they get a cornerback, and maybe go after a wide receiver. I mean, who's still out there?
I mean, everyone
Jarvis Landry is still out there as a free agent. They could sign him, and that would be a solid addition. And the Bills last year, they only ran a 2 tight end set 8% of the time. It was the league's low. Now you have Knox and OJ Howard, who is just a massive human being. They can start doing more 2 tight end sets and move Josh around in and out of the pocket and really open up the field. I mean, who the fuck are you going to cover?
Yeah, they're loaded.
You have to spy the quarterback. You have to probably double Diggs. Gabriel Davis, if he plays like he did in that last game against the Chiefs, if he steps up even more next year, he's going to be a Pro Bowl level receiver, and he's the number 2. And then, you got Knox, you got Howard, you got Isaiah McKenzie, who's just so, he's so fucking fast. They have all these options.
Where do you think Baker Mayfield ends up?
He wants to go to the Colts. They're probably not going to let him go to the Colts.
I bet he ends up in Carolina.
Yeah, I could see him going to Carolina. I could see him going to New Orleans and maybe Atlanta. Atlanta trades Matt Ryan to the Colts, and then they go and get Baker.
Why do they care, though, that he stays out of the AFC?
Yeah, if I'm them, the Browns.
Yeah, I don't get that angle. Like, why the hell did the Texans
Can we
trade?
also sidebar and talk about, I know I've shit on Tua a lot, but Tua went through a ton last year because they thought they were going to get Deshaun Watson the whole season, and that guy still showed up and kept his head down, and they won, 8 games in a row, and they made a run where they almost made the playoffs, and he did his job. He played with respect, and he didn't cry. Baker Mayfield goes on Instagram like 2 days after the Browns are in the running and just complains and shits on the city and basically, whatever, guys, and shits on the franchise. And I want out. Trade me.
Dude, what's his
why
name?
would you want that guy to be your leader?
Who is that Oklahoma? He's the UCLA coach now, the Oklahoma guy, former guy. He did a great job of coaching 6 foot and under quarterbacks, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, but he did a terrible job of teaching them how to talk to their teams and communicate. It's like you can't have 2 better instances of you guys realize you're under 6 foot, right? And you're getting to play, like, you're one of 32 guys that gets to play quarterback in the NFL. Yeah. So it's remarkable that you even got that far. So I mean,
to mention, they put you on every fucking commercial despite having mediocre stats.
Yeah, he's the Ricky Fowler of football. He's in every single commercial with zero, behind it play wise. I think the best fit for him would be. I mean, I didn't realize that they definitely wanted to keep him out of the AFC. I see no reason why. I mean, I could see you probably don't want him in the same division, maybe, but
they should ultimately just go and get whatever they can get for him. But seeing as how New Orleans and Atlanta were definitely going all in on Deshaun, I'm sure they could cut back those deals and go and get Baker if they wanted to. But again, I don't see why you would want him. Who wants him right now?
I mean, who's going to be New Orleans starting quarterback as of today? It's like,
I guess Taysom Hill, but it's also hilarious that they signed Taysom Hill to that insane contract and then are just going to immediately turn around in 6 months and go and get Deshaun Watson for even more.
Everybody did, dude. Everyone did. It was like I mean, I remember Deshaun Watson being great and having,
he is.
He had that year where that defense was so bad, but he still had to put up numbers.
He made the playoffs twice with the Houston Texans. Say that 3 times out loud. That's crazy. He is an elite quarterback. So the Browns have the most important position figured out for the next 5 years, assuming that he stays out of jail.
Well, that's a big assumption as of right now. We'll see. Yeah, I don't. What was there anything else that surprised you? I'm trying to. Did we miss any of the big?
I was happy that we got Saffold, another addition to the offensive line, and re-signed Mitch Morse. Like, the Bills killed it. We came up a few pieces short of literally doing everything we wanted to do, and they are so much better than they were last year.
Yeah, my only thought was that linebacker. I would have liked to have seen that Von Miller contract to go to a Bobby Wagner, but we'll see how it plays out. Well, I was wrong about we talked about, is the war going to end before baseball lockout? So the war is still going on, but Major League Baseball figured out their fucking problems. And thankfully baseball's back. I mean, I don't even know who won, really. I think the owners won again. The owners always seem to win these things. There'll be 14 teams in the playoffs now. DH is universal, which I'm happy about. We're the only, that was the only place in baseball left that the pitcher still hit. So it's ridiculous. And then all the financial shit. So, but since then, it's been another fucking free agency frenzy, and the Yankees are blowing it badly. I didn't mind getting rid of Gary Sanchez. It was time for that to go. I guess they had to saddle Gio Urshela along with him, which I like Gio Urshela. But to get Josh Donaldson, who's, older, former MVP, but really past his prime, and a shortstop for a year or two, when finding out last night that we could have had Carlos Correa, who basically signed with the Twins for like a 1-year deal. It's a 3-year deal, but he can leave after a year. He can leave after the second year. So if the Yankees offer him that deal, I don't know why he wouldn't have taken it. Would you rather play for the Yankees or fucking Twins? So it made no sense to me hearing that deal, why the Yankees didn't go after him. They're all pot committed on this Volpe guy, Anthony Volpe, and I'm happy about that. The Yankees haven't had a star come through the system since Aaron Judge, and we're still kind of waiting on that. So they're all high on this guy. I'm excited about that. I'm happy that there's someone coming up. I'm happy that he's a fucking shortstop. He grew up around there. But, there's no reason why you can't have Carlos Correa come in for 2-3 years, even if the kid's ready next year and they want to move Correa to third base. Now you got that problem solved. They brought in Donaldson for $40 million when basically that's what they could have got Correa. So it's making no sense to me right now. Obviously, you had to get rid of Luke Voigt after they got Anthony Rizzo, but Freddie Freeman didn't get bank-breaking money. It was only $180 million. So I understand, but I was expecting it to be a $300 million contract. So, were we in the play for that? I don't know why we're not pulling the trigger more. We are not a better team than we were last year as of today.
No, but how much cash do they have to spend? Maybe they just don't want to spend the cash.
Well,
they've spent a lot of money and haven't gotten results. So maybe they want to just try to focus on going within.
Well, the moves that they've made so far, I don't think are going to bring them any closer to a championship. Their division is fucking hard.
Yeah.
Besides the Orioles, who are a disaster and basically a minor league team, every other team in that division can win the division and or win the American League. So, that's who I'm happy that the Red Sox didn't get Freddie Freeman. That's the only consolation. But these guys, Freeman and Correa's contracts weren't more than what I was like, oh shit. I know we're going to have to pay Judge, close to $300 million at the end of the year for the next couple of years. But in the meantime, I guess it's just that stupid fucking Giancarlo Stanton contract they still have. Got a couple big ones, but to me, the Correa thing only for 3 years when he can opt out after a year or two would have made sense. And I'm not excited about what we've done so far. And we got to get more pitching because we don't have enough. So, but I am happy baseball's back. I actually watched a spring training game yesterday, which fucking felt great. And they're only going to miss a week of, starting a week later, and they're going to play all the games. So, I'm excited about that. But yeah, I'm trying to think of Minnesota. I don't know where they're getting this money from.
Yeah,
they're
it seems like they came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and they're spending. They spent money on on Correa. They got a couple other pieces. Sanchez and Giorgio. They don't have to pay, but still, it's like they're making moves. So the American League's going to be real fucking tough. I just don't think the Yankees have done enough to get there yet. So, but we'll see. We will see. What else is going on as far as baseball? Oh, I think Trevor Bauer is back, but he's not allowed to pitch yet. Something like that. Oh, the other thing that's happening in New York is that Aaron Judge isn't vaccinated, so he can't play home games, even though this fucking sport's played outdoors.
But you got to go into the locker room to get to the field.
And no one is like, and there's
Could they just parachute him in?
Dude, it's wild how the mayor's almost like I'm not going to rush for this. I'm not doing it's almost to spite it at this point. The law, whatever it makes no fucking sense whatsoever. That unvaccinated players can come in from other places and play, but unvaccinated players can't play home. I don't understand it. It's been explained to me like 4 times. Every time it still makes no sense. So, but I don't think it's going to change. And so you're going to have big time players. I mean, if for some reason the law was to last the entire season, Aaron Judge would miss 93 games. He'd miss 81 home games, 10 games or 9 games in Toronto, and then the 3 or 4 games they play against the Mets. How the fuck are you going to go out and win a championship when one of your best players has to miss more than half the season? Look at the Nets. Kyrie drops 60 on the road and can't go play at home. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense whatsoever. And it's not going to change. It seems like these guys don't want to change it. It seems like they're like giving the fuck you to everybody. So I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. But we'll see what happens because the season starts April 7th. What else? I've been jamming around a lot.
March Madness has been fun so far.
Did you do a bracket? Steve and I did.
Yeah, I did one on DraftKings. Yeah.
Oh, just one?
Just one.
How'd it go so far?
Not good.
Yeah.
Not good.
Well, Baylor just lost. I was watching that. Kentucky lost earlier. Iowa fucked up for everyone in Iowa.
Yeah, I don't understand what happened with Iowa. They played like shit. Really
got
flat.
A 5 seed, dude. 12 5s every single year. 12s beat the 5s. Usually 3 out of 4 games in the first round. I always take 12 5s. I always take the 12 over the 5. It's always a team that's like a weird conference. No one ever watched them, but they're like 22-7 against like a bigger conference team that just kind of got in, but you can't give them a below 5 seeded rating. And that's what they get fucking wiped every time. As soon as that 12 seed realizes, hey, we can win this fucking thing, it's over. The 5 seed folds. So yeah, it's still fucking great to watch. College basketball is, I mean, I'm happy these guys are getting paid with their name and likeness now because it's so much more fun to watch than the NBA. I can't stand watching NBA games now, dude. The traveling, I don't even know what traveling is anymore. Everyone shoots a 3.
Load management.
Load management. Give me a fucking break, dude. Load management. Who are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? The Lakers aren't going to make the playoffs. How about that? The Lakers are not going to make the playoffs.
Neither are the Sabres.
Dude.
Really thought this was the year. So Donnie Meatballs, he's going to get us back next year. We're going to win the cup.
How was by the way, how was what's his name's game when he got back to Buffalo?
Oh, the Eichel game? You should.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 things on Jack Eichel. One, he played like shit, and he gave up the big turnover at the end that iced the game, 3-1 empty netter, which was very poetic. And then he kind of shit on the city and said, this is the loudest the arena's ever been in the 6 years that I've been around here. Guess it just took me leaving for them to actually wake up. So he can go fuck himself. But apparently he suffered an injury. He's going to miss a game, and there's a lot of concern coming out of Vegas. So it could be a very serious injury.
Well, didn't he have like a certain surgery?
He had a serious injury in Buffalo, and for whatever reason, we wouldn't let him get a surgery for the longest time, and that's where kind of they had the disagreement and ended the relationship. But something else, I guess, has happened that hasn't come out yet, and he might be seriously hurt and could miss some serious time. And now that's 2 major injuries in 2 seasons, and the guy who had a very bright future might not have so much.
That sucks. You don't want to see someone get injured and not be able to perform.
He's a great player. He was the most fun probably in the last 10 years that I've gotten to watch live. I mean, he's just phenomenal. Other than Pavel Datsyuk in Detroit, like when he would get on the ice, he just takes over the game. But he looked like shit against us, and that was great.
Oh, that sucks. I didn't hear about that. There was another one. What's his name? Sat on the bench against the Nets. Fucking homeboy.
Simmons.
No. Yeah.
Ben Simmons. Yeah.
And he went and grabbed the basketball when it was the loose ball and picked it up and tossed it back in, and everyone booed him.
Dude. Yeah. To sit on the bench, I don't know why he sat on the bench. I just would have come, did what I had to do, and then just gone. Like, you can't. I was like, what are you doing? These people fucking hate you. Yeah. The NBA to me, I'm like, the Knicks are terrible. So I'm like, just wait to the playoffs. That's when it gets fucking good. That's when they care.
There was so much hope at the start of the year. You were so optimistic, and they were playing really fun basketball. Yeah, they just.
And now it's who they are, dude. They have no stars. They have no identity. They have no one they have no one to inspire them. No one to check them. Like, they play sloppy for long stretches of time. It's really bad. It's bad. Yeah. It's non-competitive basketball. So I'll wait till the playoffs start and see what after the season's over, what the Knicks are going to do. They got a lot of fucking changes to be made, but we'll see. What's his name Cam Smith won the Players Championship last week in golf. It was a crazy weekend. No, I didn't. I had a couple guys up there. Justin Thomas was in it for a while. But yeah, no, it was a real crazy weekend because it was so much rain. So it was a real, you get like early morning on one day, late the next day. If you had that set up, you were so much in the driver's seat because the guys that played early on Thursday got their round in, and then the rain came for like a day and a half. So they were playing the end of the first round on Saturday. So those guys were done, and it was like, you were stopping and going. And so there was a big benefit to being in the right side of the bracket last week. But Cam Smith won $3 million, largest purse in golf. Fucking crazy.
Damn.
And the Masters in a couple weeks, so everyone's getting ready for that. They're at the Valspar this weekend in Florida. I was in Florida last weekend too. And by the way, if you work at the West Palm budget rental car facility, you can go fuck yourself.
What happened?
They made me wait an hour and a half.
Oh, poor Steve.
Hour and a half, dude. Hour and a half. 90 minutes? Unacceptable.
Shit happens.
Yeah, and then the lady's like, we don't have a minivan, which is what I ordered because I had my family with me. They gave me a 15-passenger van instead.
What?
So now I'm driving around looking like a fucking church minister trying to convert people. It was, and you know how much it takes to fill up a fucking 15-passenger van
with the gas the way it is right now? That's probably a $300.
Like $400. I could have flown a plane,
Jesus Christ,
a helicopter around. Got ridiculous. But it was fun though. Oh, also thanks to everyone that came to the Salt Lake City shows, the Ari Shaffir and Friends shows. Those were fucking blast. And then we skied for a week. And
by the way, Cassie saw those photos of you skiing in a basketball jersey, and she's like, "What kind of white trash is he?" She's never seen that before. People skiing in basketball jerseys.
People skiing jerseys now, dude, because it's for identification purposes. Where nobody wants to get lost, so everyone had a jersey, so we knew who's like, you know, we knew whose jersey was where, so we made sure that we all were accounted for. You know, I don't want O'Neal's going in deep shit in the woods and stuff. If an avalanche comes gets him, you know, it's like we've got to find the fucking guy with the Ben Simmons jersey.
Yeah,
or
tell me you're from Long Island without telling me you're from Long Island.
Bro, it was great and people loved it. So fuck you. But yeah, we got some good.
I didn't say it. She said it.
What else? What else happened? I'm trying to think. And you guys have anything else? Oh, I'm watching. I finished Pam and Tommy. Did you finish Pam and Tommy?
Yeah.
Haven't started Pam and Tommy.
We
great. Did Inventing Anna, and we're rewatching Succession to watch the last season.
Oh, okay. Maisel's back. The Dropout's good.
Wait, is that the Elizabeth Holmes?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I'm watching her, and I'm watching that Uber one on Showtime with what's his name?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yeah,
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's pretty good in that too. That's a pretty good one as well. What else am I into right now? Oh, Mrs. Maisel. She kills it.
Speaking of you got to watch the Showtime on HBO, the Lakers.
Oh yeah,
it's very. I don't like Adam McKay movies usually, but I do like this series.
I wish I was still at the Ice House. I would love to hear what Johnny Buss thinks about how they're portraying his dad.
I mean, John C. Reilly was made for this role.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Because from what I've heard from their camp is they're not too thrilled with how he's playing him.
Well, his dad's a party playboy, and I think that's the perception I always had of Jerry Buss.
Yeah,
I didn't really know. I mean, I didn't know like where he came from or how he got his money or anything. So it's all going to be new to me.
Yeah, I think it's real estate, but the whole like how's he a doctor and shit too? I never understood. You know, he always seemed like one of those pricks. He was a doctor Buss. Like, how the fuck is he a doctor? I'm not going to see.
What doctor is he? Doctor of what? Medicine?
Cocaine? I don't know.
Perfect. I gotta watch this thing. Yeah, Adam McKay's got a lot to make up for from that last piece of shit he put out. So
you didn't like Don't Look Up?
No, don't.
I like Don't Look Up. I thought it was good.
It was terrible, Brenton.
No, it wasn't.
Brenton.
Whatever.
Didn't even know what it was. It was so bad.
Yeah,
and you're wrong.
Great score.
What else? You guys have anything else? Do you have any dates coming up? Oh, I'm going to be in Buffalo next week.
Yeah.
Buffalo, Helium. Come on now.
You got to eat a whole pizza on stage because I put that out there.
Why a whole pizza?
Because what's his name? Who's it? Feliciano. Right before he got cut, he tweeted that the pizza in Buffalo was shit, and then they cut him like the next day.
Really?
Yeah.
Bad blood, dude. I'll eat whatever you put in front of me.
Don't shit on the food in Buffalo.
I will not. Buffalo, Helium next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then the following week, Jacksonville. Talk about that fucking place. I've never been to Jacksonville. This should be fun. The following Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the Comedy Zone in Jacksonville.
Home of Limp Bizkit.
Home of Limp Bizkit. Do they have like a house?
Jacksonville, Florida. Maybe
should hit up Urban Meyer and find out where all the hot spots are.
Urban Meyer probably he's not welcome anymore in Jacksonville. He left that last trip. And he's like, I'm never going back there again. You guys gigging anywhere? Anything to plug or?
I'm in Redondo Beach tonight. I'm at a dive bar Monday, and then I'm at the Improv next week.
Awesome.
Nice.
Fucking good luck.
I got to make a video for this fucking Comedy Store 50th anniversary. I'm doing the in memoriam video. So I'm in the process of coming across all the people that have died in the last 50 years.
Oh, what a shit job.
Yeah.
I hate that. God.
And then I think, adding a few.
How long is it?
What's the video?
Yeah.
I mean, it'll probably end up being like 8 minutes.
That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And
can you just throw some like random people that are still alive in there?
That's what I'm thinking. Some people that have been banned. Not, like, well, I'm not putting Middlecombe will be there. But I'm thinking of some famous comedians that'd be funny to put in.
Yep.
You gotta like.
There was a guy, I couldn't tell you his name, but there was the one guy that got his name removed from the wall. He won Star Search back in the 80s. And Jeff Scott told me this story. I guess he might still be in prison. He was a serial rapist and he went on a college tour and they caught him, I guess. And he'd raped like 6 or 7 women across these different schools and got like 20 to 30 in jail. And he's the one guy that they removed from the wall. I don't know his name, but it's probably, you could find it pretty easily online.
But he won Star Search.
He won Star Search.
Amazing.
And Mitzi passed him. And I guess he was a really good comic, but he was a horrible, horrible person.
Man, I didn't know they removed anyone's name. Where
Just
was
one.
it?
I couldn't tell you that, but yeah, just one name's been taken off.
Well, let's find his name so I can put him in the video.
And I guarantee you someone will die between now and then anyway. So you have to
you're right. So don't.
I wouldn't go fucking final edit that thing yet.
Okay.
That's the podcast for this week, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you listening. We're filling you in on what you missed. Rate, subscribe, like, tell someone else about it. We're gonna do this, I mean, we have a lot to talk about. This football stuff is wild.
I can't wait for football this year. Even if the Bills don't win the Super Bowl, which
done.
they are still their favorite to win, even if they don't, they're going to be so much fun to watch. And it'll be great to see all the other divisions beat the crap out of each other. We have a clear path to that 1 seed now. Patriots haven't done shit to get better.
Yeah, and they're not great drafters. They're not. So
still no receiver. I wouldn't count out. He lost J.C. Jackson.
I wouldn't count out Belichick though. Yeah, you guys have probably the easiest division in the AFC.
Other than that, I think the Colts still have that, depending on what the Texans do with those draft picks. Yeah, Houston, Jacksonville, they're awful.
Yeah.
So the Colts probably have the easiest division, but they don't have a quarterback.
But anyone could be a quarterback from any team now, because that's what I learned. Contracts mean nothing in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Just say you'll come here.
The cap space isn't real. The cap limit, it's not a thing. You can just restructure every contract and get all that money back.
Yep.
I don't understand it at all. I wish, if there's anyone who knows how it works, can we get someone on the show to explain it? Because it makes no sense to me.
Roger Goodell doesn't know how it works.
Exactly. The cap is, let's just get rid of the cap. Because what's the point? The Rams have no money. They have no cap space, and yet they still can go and sign one of the best receivers in football.
Because it's all fake shit, dude. You need him for a year. Then you can cut whoever you want. As long as you can cut whatever you want, there's no guarantees. That's when it gets ugly.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I love you all. Be good. Tell someone we love you. We'll talk to you next week.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.